David Groninger in Seattle, Washington, and today is Tuesday, January the 5th, 2016. Well, I just played the first page of one of my favorite pieces by Rachmaninoff. It inspires me, and in the energy of this inspiration, I begin my 5-minute talks every day. I have my trusty alarm clock set to go off in 5 minutes in order to discipline myself to hurry up and tell my important message. Well, every day I ask myself a question. What can I say in 5 minutes that might help 5 million people? I write down ideas, and then I pick something to talk about. And the one I came up today was this. You know how people tell you should have a mission in life, or maybe you've thought about, hey, what's my life purpose? If I could focus on something maybe bigger than myself, have a large purpose that could include other people, then it can drive me, or something that gives me a lot of energy and motivation and inspiration. It will help me keep on moving, especially when the going gets tough, and it'll supply me a lot of inspiration and energy to experience life, accomplish things, do some, offer benefits to others in your life, leave some kind of a legacy behind, some good works left on earth in the time that you're here in your life. Well, I one time thought, well, what if you can't come up with a purpose? What if you're having a hard time finding out, well, what is my mission? What is my purpose? Because I've sometimes found that, I found a solution for this. If you can't find your own purpose or mission, then find people who whose biographies you like, people who've lived in the past who you really admired, people who accomplished things that you really respected, people like maybe Thomas Edison, the inventor, or maybe Henry Ford, the inventor also, or people like Mahatma Gandhi, or Abraham Lincoln, or John Kennedy, or Robert Kennedy, or Martin Luther King, or even Buckminster Fuller, maybe Princess Diana, people whose maybe lives were cut short for whatever reason, and yet they had set in motion a lot of things to accomplish, but their lives were cut short. Well, anybody can pick up anybody can start where they left off. And you don't have to be a famous person to adopt the ideals or visions or to forward the dreams of famous people. Another idea is this. Think about it during the Second World War, just in our country alone, about 500,000 Americans were killed in the Second World War. Many of them were young men, under 35 years old. Think about the dreams and ambitions they had, these 500,000 people, things they wanted to accomplish, good things. These were people, many of whom they were college graduates. Many had ambitions to be inventors, to help out with social justice issues, to do cancer research and disease research, and to help help the sciences and help more knowledge become available by their own research. 500,000 people who died in the Second World War. Sometimes go to a veterans cemetery where they have graves of people who were killed in the war, or just look online at these cemeteries and see if you can imagine some of the ambitions of these people. You can even read biographies of people who died in the war, or biographies of anybody that you admire or respect. When you align yourself with people who have had purposes or missions that really energize you, that you become inspired just thinking about them. Thomas Edison is one of my idols, because when I think about him taking 1,000 attempts to invent the light bulb before he finally had one that worked, I'm actually using Thomas Edison's principle here, because I'm making 1,000 5-minute talks, one every day for 3 years, hoping that maybe one might help 5 million people. Just like Thomas Edison, he had he had 1,000 attempts in order to create a light bulb that worked, that helped millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, well, billions of people actually. Well, that's my alarm clock going off. And again, I'm going to repeat the topic of this talk is simply this. If you cannot find a mission in life, then read the biographies of people and find some of these people who have lived in the past, or even people who are still alive today, who have missions that you are very much excited by. There's a friend of mine who is very excited by the mission of Elon Musk, the person who has the Tesla electric car company down in California, and also owns the SpaceX company, who has a mission to send a rocket ship to Mars and to actually put some life on Mars in like a little aquarium of green moss or something like that they want to grow there. Well, there are people who are doing outstanding things in our world. If you can't find your mission in life, look to the biographies of people that you respect and admire, people that excite you and that energize you, and just take their mission and run with it. Because there's kind of like a universal, a universal library, you might say, or a universal connection of all these missions. Just because you didn't come up with your own idea does not make it any less, rewarding for you to work on it. The idea is this: does the mission energize you? Is it something that the mere working on it alone can motivate you to work long hours and in a very focused way? The mere working on it, does it offer you a great amount of satisfaction? Far more satisfaction than you might get just from a paycheck alone. So that's my talk today. When we have a mission in life, some great thing we want to accomplish, and it doesn't have to be great in the eyes of the world. It can just be something that makes us feel a very deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. It makes us feel great. Other people don't have to tell us that we're great, nor does anybody have to think that we're great. But if we feel great in the accomplishment of something, that is a good mission. And the idea is this: there are so many people who have lived and died who have had very outstanding missions that you can adopt and carry on. So if you don't have a mission in life and haven't figured one out and have a hard time, look to the many people who have had missions, very clear-cut missions, goals and purposes, and adopt some of them. And in a sense, you would be giving them credit. But there's something else very powerful in this too. Think about the energy or inspiration that comes to anyone, the famous people, for example, like the Thomas Edison. Wherever they got their motivation or inspiration from, if you take on their purpose, then what if this might happen? What if that same ocean of energy, or that same stream or channel, river of energy, of inspiration, what if that same source of inspiration comes to you? I mean, what if they just had some source of inspiration, it allowed them to accomplish some great things? Well, if you start where they left off, then you just might tap in to the actual source of their inspiration too. How do you know it won't work until you try it? Well, so that's my message today. If you don't have a mission in life, then find people who have had great missions and find something that you really, really love about their mission and do something about it. Well, this is David Groninger in Seattle, Washington, saying thank you for taking the time to listen to this message.